Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you this afternoon, early afternoon, I guess you could say, going into afternoon time for an album review, and this is for Beyond the Black album review, which is known as their self-titled album that I'm gonna be reviewing for you guys. Sorry, there was a piece of hair in my uh, eyelash or whatever. It was messing with me. So basically, yeah, this is for Beyond the Black's new album, their self-titled album. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for Beyond the Black's self-titled album, called Beyond the Black, of course, and let you know my thoughts on this 10-track album, which is a runtime of 42 minutes. So let's dive right into this album review. Now, I'm still unfamiliar with who the band members are. The lead singer mostly is a female vocalist, and she sounds pretty good vocally in this whole album. And I was really impressed with this album. Is there anybody out there, I meant to say. Um, that was not my favorite song, but it was solid. Um, Not the worst thing I've heard that came out for this year. The opening track for this album is solid. So it's not bad, but it has its good moments and its slightly weak moments. So basically, I'll give this a 4.5 out of 5. Reincarnation, pretty strong song. Really like the female vocalist's, the lead vocalist's singing in it. It's really good. And then there's some, I think the guitarist in the background is doing the screams, but it doesn't sound so bad. So Reincarnation is a pretty enjoyable track, and I really enjoyed this track, so 5 out of 5. Free Me is the next song, and they released a music video for this song, but I haven't really gotten the chance to watch it for myself to see what I was going to think of it, but basically, really dug this track. It's really good with the vocalist singing in it. And like I said, you'll have to remind me in the comment section below what the vocalist's name is, because I was requested to do this album review, and I'm not going to say who it was that requested it to me. But basically, yeah, I kind of knew I was planning on doing this album review, but basically, 5 out of 5 for Free Me. Pretty strong song for what it went for, and I really like how the vocalist is singing the track. And the drum work and guitar work's pretty strong. Winter is Coming is a pretty strong song. Still, the vocalist sounds really good in this track. I'm really impressed with how majority of this album she's singing so very well. And I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for Winter is Coming. I like the lyrics behind it. I like the guitar work and drum work in it, and some of the melody is pretty solid. So, and pretty good, I should say. I should have said. Into the Light is the next song, but Winter is Coming is getting a 5 out of 5. Into the Light is the next song, and really enjoyed this track. There's some upbeat lyrics in the song that are pretty uplifting to the listener, I guess you could say. So, really digging this track, and lyrically, it's pretty strong. So, 5 out of 5 for this one, and the vocalist sounds really good in this track. Um, Give me a second, guys. Gotta pause the video. Sorry about that, guys. My mom was talking to me for a moment. I really apologize for pausing the video. But to continue where I left off, Wide Awake is a pretty good song. Really like how the melody's turning out in this track, and just is pretty soothing of a song. So I'm definitely enjoying this track, so 5 out of 5. Dancing in the Dark is a pretty strong song. Wasn't sure if I was feeling for how the vocalist was singing it at first and the backing vocalist too, but it did pretty well for a listen, of course. And sorry, I just got done eating. I was swallowing something. Trying to swallow something. Just did now. But it was sausages, but yeah. 5 out of 5 for Dancing in the Dark. I will uh yeah, I will be rating it in a moment, just so you know. Raise Your Head is a pretty strong song. Really like this track. There's some moments where I don't know if I'm feeling for how the female vocalist is singing it, but other than that, it's a strong track for what it went for. Instrumentally and vocally, it's pretty good. So 5 out of 5. Not in Our Name is the second to last song on the album. That's a pretty good track. There's some sound effects um, that I don't know if I'm liking with the kind of thing with how she's singing the certain sound effects. It kind of makes me cringe a bit, but other than that, the track is pretty strong for what I went for. So 5 out of 5. And finally, I Remember Dying is the final track on the album. And that was a solid track. Not my personal favorite to close this album, but it's something for what it is. So 4.5 out of 5. Wasn't really disappointed with how she was singing the track, the lead singer, of course, and basically just the way it was coming off this track for me on of me listening to it. I wasn't that disappointed. I was just like, it's solid. So 4.5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Beyond the Black's self titled album was a really good listen. I was really impressed with this album for this Friday's releases. This and Obituary's new albums are pretty good. So, and really good too. So, overall, in my opinion, I think Beyond the Black's self titled album was a really good album. Definitely rocks for sure. Definitely recommend checking it out for yourself to see what you think of it. And for a score for me, I'm giving Beyond the Black's self titled album a 9 out of 10. This was a really enjoyable album. Like I said, definitely check this album out if you haven't listened to it yet, because it's definitely worth listening to. So, and the vocalist sounds really good singing in this album. So, 9 out of 10 for Beyond the Black self-titled album in my personal opinion. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Beyond the Black self-titled album if you've listened to it, and if you enjoyed this album review. I meant to say. I was slurring with what I was saying. For Beyond the Black self-titled album. Comment below and let me know what you guys thought of this album review if you enjoyed it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. I will have another review coming out for another track review. There's been surprisingly quite a bit of songs coming out towards the end of this week. And I'm really surprised because I'm like, damn. I'm gonna have a workload of reviews to do. So basically, I hope you did enjoy this album review for Beyond the Black self-titled album that I reviewed for you guys. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. I don't think I'm gonna have any more album reviews for next week. I just don't care for Maneskin. Main Skin, I believe, is what they're called in New Found Glory. I'm not gonna be reviewing because I listened to New Found Glory once and I wasn't impressed with what I listened to with them, but mostly because of the vocalist and sounding kind of cringy in my opinion. But that's just me, I guess. So I don't know. New Found Glory has a big fan base, but I just don't really care to listen to it in my opinion. So next week's albums is gonna be no albums that I'm reviewing until the 27th of January, so you'll have to wait 2 more weeks for the next new album review. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this album review for Beyond the Black self-titled. I'm going to be returning to you for Theory of a Dead Man's Ambulance track review, and I guess that's going to be it. So stay safe, take care, and as always, I will see you in my next review.